welcome to this afternoon's live training session right here from ResqRanch. And so what you're seeing is different trainers working on different behaviors at the same time. Today we're doing something called protected contact, which means that you're working with them through a fence because they're hot, they're irritated, flies are bothering them, despite my new amazing shoe fly spray. And so I'm just going to let you kind of observe what's happening here. And if you have questions, comments, put them down below, and watch my amazing trainers as they work with a whole group of horses all at the same time. Nicely done, Caesar! Good boy! Thanks for being here. I really appreciate you tuning in. Okay guys, so there's several different things that my trainers are working on over here. We have place, which is trying to teach them to stand with their feet on a mat. That's really important. We're teaching them to like stand still, to like have their hooves cleaned, or for the farrier to come, that kind of thing. So important skills for them to get. We're doing a little bit of playing with the ball. Caesar really loves to play with the ball. We're doing some target training. As you can see them following the target around. They really love doing that. We also have some cones set up so that we can teach them to touch the cones, and eventually we'll teach them to move around from cone to cone. We also have a parachute here that we can do some things with. So when we are doing horse training, we're always going to do our 7-step pre-flight checklist before we start training, right? And what are those 7 things? Okay, so first of all, they're freedom, friends, and food, right? So you have to make sure they're not hungry. You have to make sure they've had an opportunity to do some running around and kick off some energy, which all of these guys had earlier today because they were all allowed to run free on the whole entire property, and now they're just in the pen for the afternoon in the worst of the heat so that they can come in by the fans. But notice that even though it's hot, they'd rather be out here with us, even despite so much fun by training and learning with us. And so another one of our trainers is just showing up. So you're going to see Jeannie here as well in a moment. She's relatively new here. So we'll go back and talk about friends. They've got friends. Obviously, they're not alone. They've had some freedom, and they've had plenty of food. So nobody here is hungry. So we don't withhold food to make them hungry, to make them work. That's just not how it's done in positive reinforcement. Nobody can learn anything if you're hungry, right? So we want to make sure we have plenty to eat, which they all have had. So once those three things are checked off the list, we go on to the next thing, which is making sure that they are good on both the inside and the outside, right? So that means that we don't have anybody that has any wounds or injuries or anything like that that would prevent them from being able to participate in a training session. And then also make sure they're good. So that's 4. So then making sure they're good on the inside, and that is going to be emotionally stable, right? That nobody is like too overly scared or upset or has too much anxiety or something like that that's going to prevent them from being good in the training session. And so we have all those covered. Number 6 is going to be weather. That is, of course, unless you have an indoor arena, which we are on the way to getting one here. But in the meantime, we don't have one, which is fine because a lot of us horse people don't have indoor arenas, and that's totally fine, right? And so, but if you are working outdoors, you do have to take into consideration the weather, which in this case is hot and flies. And that being said, we have not really had much opportunity yet to spray them with my new Dr. Q's Chew Fly and Wound Care Spray. So this is something that I've been developing right here at the ResqRanch for the last year and a half, trying it out on all these horses, and finally dialed it down to what I know are the best essential oils that makes this all natural organic spray that's good for you, good for your hands, and it actually really works. So we'll be spraying some of that on the horses here today. And the last thing is treats. Okay, so having some kind of food or motivator available. A lot of times people have this bad misconception that they don't want to use food because it can cause biting and so forth, but if it's used in the right way, you are not going to have that problem. So just follow along with the rules of positive reinforcement, starting off with the 7-step pre-flight checklist. And if you want a copy of that checklist to hang in your barn, just pop an email down below and we'll send it right over to you. As far as on the inside and the outside, right? They're hot, they're being bothered by the flies, but they are here despite all that, and so that means they must want to work at some level. So let's see what we can do to go ahead and get a little bit of fly spray on them and see if we can make them more comfortable, so not everybody's just so agitated. We don't really want to be interacting with the horses when they're this agitated. We don't want them practicing all that agitation. Right, so does anybody have any questions so far about what we're doing, why we're doing it? Why does this matter? Who cares? We are relationship right now. We are setting the groundwork. We're setting the framework. This is what we would call the groundwork before the groundwork, right? You want to be able to work with these horses in a setting through a fence where they're responding to you. You want to really make sure that they are, so look at really responding. Oh, a little issue there. What happened? I'll have to do that so you guys can see what's happening back there while I figure out how to flip this thing around. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Not the best at this whole thing, and really need somebody to come here and volunteer to video this in exchange for getting all this free horse training. So if you're in the area and you want to do that, come on down. We need somebody to help me so that I'm not constantly doing things upside down or backwards or everything like I am doing right now. Again. And I can't figure out how to fix it. Does everything with her teeth, yeah, not her lips. Okay, I'm just trying to see what Zen is doing over there within Blaze and Caesar. Try to get an idea of what they're working on back there. We have Natalia right there. She's trying to be close to me. She's my friend, aren't you? You're my little girl. Aren't you my little girl? She's always by me, you guys. She always wants to be by me. And look at Chili run to Zen. Oh, what a good girl. You guys, I am so sorry. I cannot figure out how to flip the camera around.